Trading checking in 319 2020. We've added another line in here, but the UVXY chart we showed from yesterday is doing exactly what we expected it to do. We don't use moving averages, we use oscillators, we use RSIs, and we use our own proprietary channels as I was showing you before. We're not drawing channel tops on tops of candles. We're looking for channels that have common touches. We want to catch as close to or right on as many directional changes as we can. The last candle before the directional change. As you can see, this one was the last candle right before we started to move down. We want to kind of find areas of extreme, this area here, but we got to kind of pull it down a little bit so that we're closer to these top ends here. Then you have the middle channel. So we suggested yesterday, and here's the close. So we only showed this on in the video. Obviously today we said that we could see some movement to the upside in UVXY, and that volatility will remain somewhat elevated, but that it wouldn't hold. So there you go. We got a movement up to the pivot, and if we zoom in a little bit, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's just look at this little area right here. So we got a movement up to this pivot area here. And if we draw a line there, you'll see that that is the pivot, and then that just also happens to be the top. So this is what we talk about: pivots, failure pivots, and directional change pivots. So here's a little pivot in there before the drop. Obviously this became resistance today, later, hours and hours later, and then you can see the result. We said that anytime there's an extreme change in direction, whether it's to the upside or to the downside, when we overshoot into the channel, we're going to get a return to the median line of the channel. So there's potential here that we do bounce back up and retouch this channel, but obviously the market's going to dictate that. We just know that once we hit an over area, now the market's obviously getting a little stretched to the upside, and S&P is going to run into some lateral resistance too. But this played out like clockwork. You can see it was starting to get a little static here, trying to figure out which way it wanted to go. The bears won out, or the bulls in the market won out, but the bears in volatility won out. And you can see as we zoom in, it just fails, and then it drops back down. You got a little pop there on the line, and man, they didn't want to hold it. So look at this up close here. We're touching this area right now, and let's see if this kind of gives you a bounce back up to this area in volatility. But that's how we play it.